I will tell you, what I see is the people that choose these type of professions can make really good money and oftentimes dwarf some of the other professions where it does require a formal education to get.
This is Elegant Homes with Don Reilly. Each week, get expert advice from Don Reilly that's straightforward, making sure you're not taken advantage of. Powered by CFI and by Marshall Chevrolet in Carrollton, Kentucky.
Welcome to another episode of Elegant Homes. I'm your host, Don Reilly, and we are excited. We have a special guest with us today. He is the COO of our grand sponsor, CFI, which is the best in the business when it comes to flooring installation. We are honored to have Mr. Daniel Bailey with us today. Daniel, how you doing?
I'm good. Glad to be here.
Thanks for being on Elegant Homes today. We're excited to talk with you. So, Daniel, tell us a little bit about CFI. I know you're the new COO of CFI, and we're excited that you guys are doing so much in the installation business when it comes to flooring.
Well, we really doing a lot of work in the flooring industry, and I'm glad to be here. Hopefully, we can shed some light on what's really a great industry right now. It's really hot. You know, people live in homes and they want to upgrade them. We're seeing an uptick in that even as we've come out of the COVID. So business is good for us right now.
You know, and you mentioned COVID. How's that changed your all's business? Because your model is kind of unique. And how does that change your business model a little bit?
It changed overnight.
Wow.
Realistically, you think that we're doing installs in people's homes or people's businesses, and that's a safe haven.
Yes.
So as we tried to fight this virus, one of the things that we did is we sort of retreated into our homes. Letting construction workers or something into your home was very difficult through the beginning of this process. But we had some folks let us in. We had the government in some of our areas that shut us down, and we had strategic partners that said, no, we're not going to do any installs right now. So we adjusted quickly. Today, we go in and we do what everybody else is doing, all the safe things. We're wearing booties, we're washing our hands, we're taking temperature, we're doing all the things that we can do. We don't want to come into your home and contaminate your home. But we're also asking those questions. We don't want people who potentially have had the disease to contaminate our installers. So under the best of circumstances, we're going in and trying to make homes look a whole lot better than they did before we got there.
Wow, you know, and being a contractor and being a carpenter, you guys do some flooring installation for myself when I flip properties and you guys do such a great job. The jobs are immaculate, but the cleanup is top notch. And so when you're in a customer's home with the COVID, is the disposal of the carpet and all that, are you having to handle that differently? Are you just cleaning the surfaces and then the carpet's just rolled up and taken out to the van?
Well, one of the things is that's been a big question. How long does this virus last on a substance? And I don't think anybody can tell you that. I certainly am not an expert to be able to tell you that.
Sure.
We're using all the safety precautions we can. We're going in and we're rolling up years of dirt. We're rolling up years of spills and everything else, and we're hauling it off. We are treating it a little differently when we get it back into the plant. But for the most part, the guys are just real careful, trying to wear gloves and wear masks and do things that they can do. But for the most part, we're trying to make it as normal business as we have in the past.
That's great. You were just telling me a little bit ago, I know we have the alternative school here in Northern Kentucky, and we're changing gears here a little bit, but you guys actually train installers too. So, in that process, do you have to teach them this new installation safety measures, we would call it?
Well, we've had meetings with our entire staff. We have traditional employees. We have a big subcontractor network of people that do installs for us as well. So we've had to make sure that they are all adhering to the CDC guidelines and make sure that when they're going into people's homes, they're doing the very best that they can under those circumstances. We've gotten away from the touch pads where you have to sign things, and we are addressing those as COVID so that,
Sure.
We're not exchanging a device and potentially exchanging germs at that point in time. Very similar to some of the retail outlets that you go to. They're allowing you to put your credit card in, and I know McDonald's has the little device coming out the window at a couple of those places. So, we're doing what we can. In terms of our school, that's a little different conversation. We're actually trying to attract people into a trade, and we are teaching them our industry. It takes quite a while. There's a financial commitment on their part. But in the end, we recognize that one of the things that our industry needs, the construction industry, is young people coming into it.
Yes.
We've got some folks that are aging out. It's a wide open industry. Building today is booming in many parts of the country. It's a great career path for a young man that doesn't mind getting a little sweat on his brow, working a little hard. And we're selling a lot of flooring right now, so that's a good deal.
Yeah, and it's a different millennium generation we have out there, and their mindsets are a little different. How are you finding that, sending those folks down that pathway of being an installer and training them? And are you still finding those to be hurdles with this new generation, or are you seeing those people come through the door and accepting the program?
I think that to the chagrin of their parents, they all want little Bobby and little Jill to go off and become lawyers and doctors, and the reality of it is that's not the case of what's going on. So I think when the people realize, hey, school's not for me, where do they go?
Yes.
One of the areas is the service industry, and the service industry is what consumers are flocking to, and the world has changed a little bit right before our very eyes. But what I see is the guys that are good with their hands, the guys that don't mind working a little bit, that don't mind, carrying carpet. It's not light. It's not a weak guy's role. But
Sure.
I will tell you, what I see is the people that choose these type of professions can make really good money. Plumbers, electricians, guys that run their own crews and carpet flooring companies can make a really good living, and oftentimes dwarf some of the other professions where it does require a formal education to get in there. We're giving you a formal education, but you're just simply not getting a degree from a university on the wall. We're teaching the nuances of the flooring business, which is an art, and it's also a science. So again, I believe it's an industry that's going to be here for many, many decades to come.
Wow, and it sounds like you're doing a great job at CFI. So you're new at CFI. Tell us a little bit how it came about that you and CFI got together. It sounds like you guys got some exciting things going on over there, and you guys are really kind of setting the stage for some great things to happen that you got in process.
Well, we are, and I will say that this is a dedication to our owner, Daryl Diener, a veteran who started a flooring industry a long time ago, who is exactly who we just talked about a few minutes ago.
Wow.
A guy that's not afraid to get in the floor and sweat and work hard, and he's done really well for himself and grown a tremendous business. He also has recognized that businesses need to grow to survive. So as a result of that, he has brought me on board. I'm a lifelong printer. I spent my entire career in the printing industry, in everything from working in manufacturing to being in sales to the executive level, actually running companies, which is what brought me to Northern Kentucky.
Wow.
And as that industry suffered, I still had a lot in the tank. And Daryl and I met, and I simply went to him one day networking, and what my desires are to help a company grow and what his needs were, they lined up perfectly. Not to mention that, we've actually brought another executive on staff, a gentleman named Chad Carpenter. And, between Chad and our job is to not really correct a lot about what's going on at CFI. We may make some minor adjustments there, but it's a pretty good run organization. Our job is what do we do moving forward? And we do have, and we're a little premature in this, but we have some new business ventures that we're launching over the next few weeks. And COVID actually came along at a great time for us because we were able to focus 100% on what are we going to do. Our executive team worked together to help launch this, and I'm excited about it. And what does that ultimately mean? It ultimately means more flooring going down. It means more opportunities for people to join our team. We're looking right now for as many installers as we can get. We frankly have more business than we can put on the floors, which is a good problem to have until you can't meet the needs of the consumer. So we're kicking back up the university school soon so that we can bring a new set of people in to begin to train them, because we recognize that that's our responsibility as an industry leader, is to train the next generation.
Yeah, and that school, I think that's a smart move as far as CFI as a whole, because you guys have your own in-house staff and you train these people to go your path. I just think it's smart. It's very smart.
Well, listen, I don't need to tell you anything about the construction business, but if a home builder builds the exact same home 10 times in a row and you go in there to redo the floor, every one of those buildings are going to have a little different personality.
Yes.
So when we're teaching those people to put that carpet in, we're teaching them basically to read the tea leaves of that particular flooring. Does it need some additional work to get the floor set properly so that it lays out correctly? Well, just because one house was built by the same builder, it can have different characteristics in how it settles. So there is a tremendous amount of science and art and know-how that goes into being able to have a successful flooring install.
Sure, and I've had the privilege of working with Mr. Diener, and you were right. He is a motivated individual, but he's also still, I'm going to quote, 63 years old, still quite the worker. I mean, he is. I've worked beside him. We actually had the privilege of doing some work at his personal home, and Daryl is still very involved. He just gets after it.
Yeah,
very impressive.
Well, and I made the comment, I had a little left in the tank and wanted to do something. I think Daryl's got a lot in the tank.
Yes, he
does. It certainly looks like it. I wouldn't want to try to work beside him all day long digging a ditch because I think I'd be tired and having a break, and he'd still be going strong. So.
And his son Jason, he's a big part of the business. Jason, I know Jason very well. He's not only diligent to CFI, but that guy knows social media and the marketing, and I think you guys, with you and those guys together, I think you guys got a winning combination.
Well, I appreciate that, but I will say this. Again, I've been with the organization now for about 3 months, so I'm learning every day, and you hit the nail on the head. A lot of second-generation companies struggle, and that was one of the concerns, I think, as Daryl was beginning to think, what's the company going to look like forward? At 63 years, he's going to be around a long time,
yes.
Lord willing.
Yes.
But to have a transition plan with what he's done now, Jason is that flooring expert that I talked about, but he also comes from that generation that absolutely, completely understands technology, and it's a big part of what we do. So having his expertise of being a guy that can teach you to lay a floor or a guy that can help us write programs, because we have very strong technology, he has been a tremendous asset to CFI his entire life. So I think that makes the future really bright for all of us.
Yeah, and he had a good teacher.
I think so too.
Yeah, his dad, I think, kind of prepped him for that position. So we're just excited you guys are on board with Elegant Homes. They'll be our grand sponsor. We're so excited moving forward. And we see, great things from you guys, but also let's talk a little bit about, you got some of these new programs coming out. I know you can't tell us a lot about those, but what are some of the things in the future? I know you guys got some exciting new programs you're going to be rolling out. Maybe you can just give us a little glimpse of what you guys got coming.
Well, see, this is what happens when you interview somebody. You always ask them those questions. They say, we're not going to talk about them. But what we'll do is we'll come back at another time and we'll give you full details. But here's what I'll simply say to you is this. If you're in the retail business, you've watched the world change before your very eyes.
Absolutely.
Amazon came on board, and Amazon started really tearing up the bricks and mortar traditional ways of buying. And there were many people who said, it'll never make it. Well, now not only has it made it, it's having a lasting impact. So we've evaluated our business to say, what is the very best way we could position ourselves to sustain growth and continue to diversify our portfolio to where we can offer the very best products and the very best service. So we're coming out with a model that actually does just that. The ultimate thing for us is to grow our business. And I can give you reference after reference after reference from business book. My personal favorite book to quote is the Bible. And the Bible says that to grow fruit and grow more abundant fruit, you have to prune the vine. So that just simply means you have to pay attention to what you're doing. And we're paying attention. So we have prune the vine a little bit, and we are going to see tremendous growth as a result of it. And we'll give you more details when they're 100% appropriate. Right now, I could speculate, but I think that announcement needs to be announced at the right time, at the right place, through the right channels. And if I give you too much, Daryl's going to come after me. So.
Well, we understand that. And we won't peck on the door too hard today, but we are definitely going to come next time you come by.
I'll be calling you.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll stand on a mountaintop and shout that one out.
All right, sounds good. You're listening to Elegant Homes. I'm Don Reilly, and we are honored to have our COO of our grand sponsor, CFI, Mr. Daniel Bailey, with us. We'll be right back. So when you're looking for flooring installation, you've never seen a company that can take care of you like this one. CFI, they are our sponsor here at Elegant Homes. These guys are fantastic from start to finish, some of the best installers in the business. You got to check out CFI. Go to cfiinstallation.com. That's cfiinstallation.com. Also, you got to stop out and see Rob and the gang out there at Marshall Chevrolet. These guys are great. If you're looking for that new Equinox, maybe that new Chevy Silverado or Trailblazer, stop out and see Rob and the gang out there at Marshall Chevrolet. They'll really hook you up. They got a great service team. They'll get you in, roll you out, and make sure that you tell them Don Reilly with Elegant Homes sent you.
It's the Elegant Homes Podcast with Don Reilly, powered by CFI for all your flooring needs. CFI-installation.com and by Marshall Chevrolet in Carrollton, Kentucky.
Welcome back to Elegant Homes. I'm your host, Don Reilly, and we are sitting here with the COO of our grand sponsor, CFI, and Mr. Daniel Bailey. And Daniel, I want to ask you a unique question. When you go into someone's home, why carpet? Why does somebody want carpet or new flooring in their home? I mean, what's the value there?
Well, actually, I think that's a great question. And let me tell you why I feel that that's such a good question. You know, people do things in their homes. People love their homes. And as you as a consumer and me as a consumer and homeowners, you know, we paint the walls. We do things to keep our homes clean. If you're like my wife and I, we clean house once a week to make sure that it's livable. We take care of the flower beds. And, you know, so homeowners are proud homeowners.
Sure.
But flooring makes a statement. So you can have any home you want. You can paint the walls whatever color you want. But if you have worn out carpet, it's sending a message to anybody that comes to your home. Flooring is not an inexpensive investment, but it is an investment that allows the homeowner to enjoy living there for a decade. The right carpet, buying high quality products will last you a long time. So we're seeing that, and it's part of what we get to enjoy. I know you're in the remodel business.
Yes.
You know, you get to experience this yourself, so I'm talking to somebody that can speak the same language that I speak. When you convert someone's kitchen, it's a disaster for a few weeks, right?
Yes. Yep.
But ultimately, when that kitchen is exactly what they wanted it to be, that homeowner beams with pride.
And that flooring really sets that job off.
That's exactly right. So, you know, so we do a fair amount of work in the flipping industry where somebody's coming in, buying a house, and they want the carpets to be nice. We do a fair amount of work in the real estate market where a realtor is giving a current homeowner good guidance to say, when that prospective homeowner comes into your home, you don't want them to see the worn out carpet. It just sends a message. But as a homeowner, I think most of the time what we see is someone says, I love my home, but I want to take it to the next level. Carpet does that. All of the hard surfaces, and we can get into this conversation, but the technology of how hard surfaces are made today it's changed dramatically over the last few years. So we have the ability to put down vinyls, we have the ability to put down laminates, we have the ability to put down authentic hardwood. Whatever your budget can stand, we can adjust and give you an incredible surface.
And you were just telling us they're embossing some of these styles of wood, different wood species into the tile. That's amazing. So tell us a little bit about that manufacturing and that they do that process.
Part of it is when you look at the way these tiles are made, and they're called click tiles, you can put them together. A lot of people are doing these things. Home improvement, you do it yourself in some instances. My recommendation is, unless you're really good at home improvement type things, you can take some expensive product and make a big mistake with it. So I'm always going to be the guy that says, hey, man, if you're going to spend the money to buy something nice, have a professional install it.
Too much HGTV.
it can be.
Yeah.
But here's what I would say. The technology today, do your homework. Look at the products. Look at how long they're made. Look at the thickness that's there. Don't always be attracted to the best price. Go for the best quality. That may not always be the cheapest thing, but you're putting a lot of money into this. So when you start thinking about rub test and the difficulties that you have in a vinyl product, some of them are thicker than the other ones are, so they're going to take the scratch that would normally come in that would leave a really bad gash in your floor. They're almost non-existent. These are really, really hard surfaces. And we talk occasionally about builders who will put in what we call a builder's grade of carpet. It doesn't last very long. that homeowner would have been far better off to put in a nicer grade of carpet when the home was built, and that transition wouldn't have to happen nearly as quickly, because cheap carpet gives you cheap results. And I'm not sitting here saying you need to buy the best carpet in the world. You need to buy the carpet or flooring that fits your budget, that does what you want it to do, and there's a wide array of pricing out there for that.
Yeah, we always know you guys are going to do the best insulation that money can buy. We know that for sure. Talk a little bit about the amount of carpet. You guys, it just blows me away when you tell me that you're installing 50,000 yards of carpet a week. That's a lot of carpet. So that means you have big crews and a lot of crews.
It means
Mr.
both.
Bailey.
It means both.
Yeah.
And it also means we constantly need new installers.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Anybody listening to this that wants to call us, give us a shout, because we do have a really great crews, and we grade them. Some crews have the ability to put in more than others, and we try to adjust our installs to fit what their capabilities are. But yeah, you're right, 50,000 square yards of carpet going in on a weekly basis is a lot of carpet.
It's a lot of carpet. Well, Mr. Bailey, we are so excited to be partners with you guys at CFI, and I'm just honored to have you on Elegant Homes Day. This has been great. We're running out of time here, but you have talked about a lot of different things, and I always like to wrap the show up. You are just cutting edge with CFI. Tell me what your goal is. $1 million question. I call it the $1 million question here on the Elegant Homes. What's your biggest goal with CFI as the new COO of the CFI? What's your direction, and where do you see you guys being in the next 10 years?
So I think it's a great question. Here's the deal. CFI was started in 1985. Daryl's done a tremendous job building and growing this company. So my goal coming in is, where do we take the company moving forward? So we are looking at all of our processes. We've made some tremendous changes in our internal technology. The reality of it is, we're in the service business, and our responsibility is to have a profit at the end of the day. So what can we do internally to enhance that profit? So that's one focus of our business. Another focus of our business is, where do we go from here? Obviously, I didn't come on board. Chad's not coming on board for things to stay exactly the way they were. So we're, again, diversifying that portfolio. We want to grow. Growth is healthy. And, again, when we get finished, the end result, I hope we can look back 10 years from now and say, Danny Bailey, Chad Carpenter, the Diener family, and the entire team, not just the executive team, but the middle management team, the employee installers, the subcontractors that we work with, we're committed on a daily basis for job security for them, but to continue to grow and have a positive impact in people's lives. If we look back 10 years from now, we can say, wow, we had a great plan, we executed it well, and a lot of people benefited from that. In the middle of that, a ton of consumers that, in my opinion, get best-in-class service when we pull up in their driveway and we do an install for them. We walk out and they will recommend us to a friend. That's when we've been successful.
Wow, what a great answer. I am so honored that you came in and talked with us today. You got to check out CFI. Tell everybody where they can go to check out CFI, and how can we get someone, if they're interested in the installation program, how could they reach out to you guys?
Well, we will take their comments on our website, www.cfiinstallation.com.
Great.
They can actually call us at the office. I can give you that number real quick. The number is 859-371-6610, and they can ask for me. I'll be happy to have a conversation with anybody.
Great. Give Daniel a call, and Mr. Bailey will be happy to answer any of your questions. And,
you got it.
We're honored to have CFI as our sponsor here for Elegant Homes, and it sounds like they got a great COO. So I'm excited, and we're looking forward to hearing from you next time.
Appreciate your time. It's been fun.
Thank you. And everybody have a great day, and thanks again for listening to Elegant Homes. I'm your host, Don Reilly. Have a great day.